What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today is part 2 of the Yamaha Moto4 200. In the last video, we got this thing up and running after it's been sitting for about 15 to 20 years. And once we got it running, it was making a ticking kind of rattling noise in the top end here. We're not sure exactly what it is. So our goal today is to try to get into that top end, see exactly what that noise is, get that fixed, and then we're going to clean this thing up really nice and take it for its first test drive. So stay tuned. So before we get into the work today, I just want to start this thing up real quick for you guys so you can hear that noise that we're talking about. And if you haven't seen the previous video, go check that one out so you can see exactly what we've done so far. But let's go ahead and fire this thing up real quick. So I didn't want to run it too long, but as you can tell, it does have a funny noise on that top end. So let's go ahead and I think we're going to start with the valves. We're going to pop these two covers off and this side cover, and we need to get down here. That way we can turn the motor over to get it to top dead center. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. All right, we got our covers off. We got it set to top dead center. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at these valves real fast. So on our exhaust side, there's a little bit of play. Probably needs to be adjusted slightly, but not terrible. Let's check our intake.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Well, that could be a problem. Let me get a better angle for y'all. Okay, so it looks like the actual screw is broken in half. I mean, I don't know what y'all think, but that could be, causing some problems with that rattle. Gosh. I've never really ran into this issue. I don't know if I can just replace this screw, or if there's more to be done. I mean, the machine was still running, but I'm gonna, I guess, do some research and see if I can just replace that screw and set the valves that way and see how she does. But I'm thinking it may be a little bit more than that. So once I do that, we'll be back. What's up, everyone? So we are back. It is a few days later, and where we last left off, we had the issue with this broken valve adjuster screw. And I did some research, and I asked a couple people that I trust what their opinions were. And they were kind of saying, since this is such a cheap quad and I don't really have much into it and it's already running, what I could do is swap out that adjuster screw, and if all else fails, you know, I can sell this thing as a parts machine, just because I don't really think it's worth tearing down this whole thing just to find a piece of the screw that may or may not be, you know, in there. So what we're gonna do is, I bought this new OEM adjuster screw. This is the part number here. If you guys ever need one, I'll put that link in the description. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to remove this one that's there, unscrew it, hopefully it'll come right out, and then we will put the new one in, set those new valve clearances, and we will see if she will fire up, and hopefully that fixes our rattle. So let's do that real fast and we will fire this thing up. All right, guys, there is our old adjuster screw. And as you can tell, it broke almost completely in half there. So we're gonna get this new one put in there and get these adjusted real quick. All right, guys, so we finally got our new adjuster screw on there. We got it tightened down and we got it adjusted to where we want it. The stock for the intake is gonna be 0.05 millimeters. And if you look, it just slides in there and moves around. So we're good there. And then we've also got our exhaust adjusted as well. That is going to be 0.11 millimeters. And I'll put something up on the screen for you guys to see what the exact gap is going to be. So now that we got that done, we're gonna go ahead and put all these covers back on, and we're gonna go ahead and fire this thing up. So as you can tell, you can't really hear that noise anymore, so I think that was our fix. We're gonna hop on this thing real quick and take it around the yard and see how she does. So yeah, I definitely think we figured out our problem. We're gonna go ahead and get these plastics cleaned up, and then we're gonna go ahead and officially take this thing for the first test drive. So we're gonna go ahead and try out this new paint remover that I've found, this Aircraft Ultra paint remover. They say it's really good for getting this spray paint off, so we're gonna test that out here. And I don't want to do the whole thing because I want to have like a big reveal at the end. I've bought some decals to go on this thing to really make it pop. So let's test out this sample area here, and then I'll do the rest, and we'll let you guys see the finished product. So if you look, this stuff is already pulling that paint off very quickly. This stuff is very strong, so you have to be careful with it. But we're gonna go ahead and spray this off and see the finished product. Before I go any further, as you can tell, this paint is coming right off. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this thing up completely and do all the plastics. And when I come back, you'll see the finished product, and we'll take this thing for the first true test drive. What's going on, everyone? So it is actually the next day, and as you can tell, there's a thunderstorm on its way. But we've got the four-wheeler right here. It's all ready to go. And before we do that, I have not officially introduced myself on this channel. My name is Corey. This is not something that I do full-time. This is just something that I do on the side that I enjoy. It's just a hobby that I picked up in the last few years. So I just wanted to thank everyone for coming along with this journey with me to fix these things up, get them back up and running, and just having a good time. You know, my goal starting this channel was just to have a reference for people to go to, that they could get the answers that they needed, hopefully, and also just to build a community. But ultimately, my main goal in life is my faith. I take that very serious, and I would really enjoy for this channel to be just a community for Christians to get together, to do the things that they love. And hopefully this can just be a spot for everybody to come to enjoy family-friendly content, and everybody can just have a little bit of an escape from everyday life and just have fun. So if that's something you enjoy, I definitely would ask you to subscribe, and let's just build this community and help other Christians out. I appreciate you tuning in so far. But without further ado, let's go ahead and step over here, and we will go ahead and take a look at this finished product and take it for the final test drive. So before we look at this, just a disclaimer, this is not the best work that I've done. I'm not the happiest with this work, but sometimes you're just dealt things in life and you just have to roll with it. So mechanically, you know, this thing is sound now, and I think that all that's good to go, but cosmetically it's definitely not the prettiest thing that I've seen. But without further ado, this is our finished product. And like I was saying, as you can tell, these plastics did not come out as clean as I would have hoped. And as you can tell, you know, there's some spray paint left on there, and you know, that just comes with it, because when people take it upon themselves to spray paint these things, it just ultimately can ruin them in the end. So this is what we have, this is what we're left with. But overall, I mean, still for a 80s model machine that was pulled out of a barn, I really can't complain. I mean, the seat looks great, everything else came out really nice, so I'm pretty happy with it at the end of the day. But we're gonna go ahead and fire this thing up for you guys so you can see what it sounds like, and then we are gonna hit the trails. And it's a little muddy, but we're gonna try to take this thing for a full wide open test drive and let you guys see how it rides. Go ahead and start this thing. still a little cold. We'll let it warm up a little bit. And I think in the last video I said that this headlight right here didn't work. Apparently that's a stator driven headlight, so it does actually work. So now let's hop on this thing and we will go ahead and drive this through the land here. Something in the water right there. I don't know if y'all can see that over there. Maybe like a little beaver or something. This thing seems to be running really well. I just think it's interesting. This is Yamaha's first ATV. They built this thing with the frame of a trike, but then they just put two wheels on the front. So I just think that's kind of crazy. And when you're working on it, it almost feels like you're working on a three-wheeler or a dirt bike, something like that. But yeah, this was the first model that they came out with, and obviously it's changed a lot since then, but I just think that's pretty interesting. Try to avoid some of this mud right here. Well guys, that is gonna wrap it up for this video, and the horses are coming to say hey. Dreamer and Reba, what are y'all up to? Anyways, let me know what you guys think. If you want me to try to start doing more videos like this where we find some of these older models and get those fixed up, or you know, haven't been running in several years, let me know in the comments below. And also I got a new camera for me to use while I'm riding to film and everything. Let me know what you think about that. Somebody wants the attention here. But anyways, I appreciate y'all watching, and we've definitely got some more content coming out soon. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you in the future. Thanks.